Are you tired of boring old reading habits? Are you looking for new techniques on how to encourage a lifelong love for reading? Well then, Reading in the Wild by Donald Miller is the answer. Miller captures the audience's attention by providing visual information such as My Reading Itinerary, Independent Reading Time Observation, Status of Class Charts, Wild Reader Survey, and many more. Miller believes that by providing visual elements such as worksheets can provide teachers with a basis of teaching, gives teachers a head start to planning their day, and also gives teachers fun and wild teaching techniques that gets them thinking out of the box. With the help from Susan Kelly, Miller takes her readers on an adventure and helps describe what it takes to be a wild reader. A point that Miller makes is that it is extremely important to keep a focus on what you are reading. By demonstrating that you as the educator makes a reading chart weekly, it encourages students to do the same as well. Once the week is over, the students can reflect on what they have read and how far they have gotten, which will ultimately create a sense of accomplishment. Reading in the Wild is a very effective book that cultivates lifelong reading habits. It is a useful guide for teachers that creates open and wild conversations between you and your students. But don't just take our word for it.
After reading Reading in the Wild, I now understand what it takes to be a wild reader and what it takes in order for my students to be wild readers as well. Because of some of the surveys and lesson ideas that Miller provided in her book, allowed me to see what topics interested my students and what didn't. Through these activities, I was able to understand my students more and on a personal and academic level.
Miller encourages a variety of different types of texts within the classroom. Preferences and experiences from children are what shape them. And by providing a library with a variety of books that further their interests, that will only increase their love for reading.
I'm a wild reader, and I am able to name over 1,000 book titles that range from Shakespeare to J.K. Rowling. Being a wild reader means that I have a wide variety of book topics that I am interested in and read with ease. Being a wild reader means that I am filling my head with useful information and I am broadening my mind each and every day.
Reading in the Wild teaches useful and valuable techniques that will keep your students on track to achieve a lifelong love for reading. By now, we will even throw in a copy of 50 pages worth of worksheets and lesson plans.
What a deal!
Call now to get your copy of Reading in the Wild by Donald Miller with Susan Kelly. And we will even throw in 50 pages worth of lesson plans and worksheets free. Call now. And remember, let's cultivate lifelong reading habits.